time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming at you for a special Taco Tuesday lunch, the Shoe Shine. All right, y'all know the routine. Usually I do have my co-host all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish Drew Evo. I was talking with him last night and we could not get together for our regularly scheduled Monday night show, our recap that we do every Monday. Sometimes schedule issues happen, you know, guys. So it looks like we're going to do a makeup show on Wednesday night, tomorrow night. If you're a big fan of Philly Irish Drew Evo, make sure you guys tune in. We should be getting started somewhere around 7:45 Pacific Standard Time. Saludos to everybody that might be joining me out there in YouTube Landia, who might be at work right now, or might be in their car, or might be enjoying a very, very nice Taco Tuesday, guys. You know, I'm out here in Las Vegas, guys, and it's starting to heat up. Come tomorrow, I find out it might hit 100, and then just might stay like that for the entire rest of the summer. I mean, to be honest, I know it's going to be 115 in July. Some of you guys are already making travel plans for the big Manny Pacquiao fight coming up July 19th, I believe. And it's going to be hot as shit. In fact, saludos to Isabel, Elif, hello, and my boy Fonzie. I was just talking with Fonzie about this upcoming fight weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend in Las Vegas. We're going to have a lot of good shows, guys. We got PBC coming back with Caleb Plant. Charlo will be in the building. Charlo making his return. We got a Golden Boy card next Friday at the Virgin Hotel that just hosted EDC, guys. The Virgin Hotel just hosted the EDC crowd. That shit must have been bananas, guys. But you guys have this thing right here. I wanted to get some football talk out of the way really quickly. Saludos to Big Spooky. Appreciate you. I thought since it's Tuesday, you guys know, if you don't know, I'm very fortunate to be able to work from home. So I thought I'd share with you, while we looked at Bill Belichik, one of the greatest NFL coaches here, doing the unthinkable, being a senior citizen that might as well have dementia at this point, and yet he's been hired by University of North Carolina to head that football program. According to his the girl that's been destroying his personal life right now and his career, according to her, she's told the New York Times that they are now officially engaged. They are nearly 50 fucking years apart, guys. 49 years apart. What is he doing? Have you guys been keeping up with the Bill Belichik drama? All right, guys, I'm going to quickly give you guys something. Like I said, it's Tuesday here, Taco Tuesday. It's extremely cold. I'm going to give you a quick recipe of the bombest, spiciest mango margarita you could make, and all you got to do is get to a Trader Joe's and buy the in-season spicy mango lemonade. That's going to be the base here. All right. Let me play some music while I make this cocktail. Yeah, all right. Then we're going to add 2 shots of Cazadores. Actually, you guys, any Blanco tequila will do. I've been on a budget, so it's been Cazadores for me right now, but, you know, it makes a perfectly fine margarita. All right. Shout out to everybody that gets drunk at work. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do what I'm doing, guys. All right. 2 shots. So here's shot number 1. Again, I'm making the spicy mango margarita for Taco Tuesday. And I am going to be having tacos later, guys. That's for reals. I'm going to be having tacos later. Where is everybody? All right. 2 shots there. Let me know if you guys have any secret recipes for how you guys make margaritas. I just think this makes an incredible base. This is spicy mango lemonade, available at your Trader Joe's right now. 2 shots of tequila. Gonna shake this bad boy up. And we're gonna get to some boxing news, guys. I got plenty of boxing news. Tomorrow we're gonna have a full-fledged episode. If you did not check out my last episode with BoxingScene.com's staff writer, my good friend Lucas Cattell of the Bay Area, make sure you go check that shit out, guys. Lucas Cattell, man, we had a fantastic conversation. He said it sounded like old school radio. right. There you guys have it. A spicy mango margarita. You can see the flakes. Let's get to talking to some boxing and some football news, guys. All right, Bill Belichik es el más pendejo. He's 79 years old, I think. I think I read he's 79. Has a coaching job. He's been on a book tour. And he is going to marry this girl that reportedly, according to what I'm reading right here, according to Bleacher Report, he met her on an airplane when she was 19 years old, you sick old pervert. Some of you guys saying, oh, he just wants young Poon before he dies. This woman is ruining his life. She reminds me of Anna Nicole Smith when she married that multi-billionaire or millionaire, whatever he was, just so she could get the bag before he died. And then she ended up becoming a fucking crackhead. Remember that? Sorry about the language, guys. Saludos, everybody joining me. That is good. That is really good, guys. Again, that's just the spicy mango lemonade available at Trader Joe's right now. 2 shots of Blanco tequila. Perfect for the summer, guys. All right. He is engaged to this bruja. Okay. Jordan Hudson, 24 years old. Supposedly, you guys know they have these football documentary shows. She intervened and said she wanted to be an executive producer and have rights to executive producer and a salary from documenting University of Northern Carolina's documentary show, whatever those football documentaries. She's fucked up everything for this guy. She's messed up the CBS Sunday morning interview. She's messing up his book tour. And now he's reportedly going to marry her. So I have no idea. Linda Hernandez says, Belichik needs some serious mental help for real. And I wholeheartedly agree with you. Did you guys see this picture? This picture reminds me of a lot of people around Vegas, guys. Let me see. Where's this picture I just had? When you start wearing this many rings on your fingers, it might be an indication that something is going awry in your cabeza. You know what I'm saying? There's no need. I know you won all the Super Bowls, but you don't need to be walking around the streets looking for young women like this. You know what I'm saying? You just don't need to. That could have been the first sign that something was wrong with Bill Belichik, okay? It was these ridiculous rings he wears. There's no need to wear all this jewelry, okay? Everybody knows who you are. You already got the young one. You can stop with the ridiculous rings, okay? Big football news. You guys remember the Shedeur Sanders NFL draft drama? Okay, I'm happy as a 49ers fan, guys. I got my quarterback. We just signed him. We've signed Kittle back. He got a great contract. Hopefully Purdy's going to be the one. Hopefully he's going to be a franchise quarterback. But Shedeur Sanders did not go in the first draft, and it cost him big time, guys. A lot of people still invested in what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. He's not going to get the money he thought he was going to get, guys. Did you hear about this shit? He's going to get a 4-year deal for $4.6 million. He's lucky he's got that. I mean, to be honest, I'm not too high on him. I know a lot of people were. I know people here in Vegas thought the Raiders might pick him up. Did not happen. And because of that, he's going to be averaging roughly $1.25 million per year. And I'm going to guess that he made a lot more than that due to the NIL at Colorado with the NIL endorsement deals and whatnot. He made way more money playing college football. He is going to have to prove his worth. And the endorsement deals, the endorsement deals that he got, if you don't play, if you ain't starting, why would anybody fucking waste money endorsing you and asking you to be, their to sponsor you? Why would anybody want to sponsor you if he's not playing? That all remains to be seen next season. What is going to happen at the Cleveland Browns, whether or not he's going to get an opportunity to become a starter. He was drafted, 4th round or whatnot, and it's going to cost him dearly. It was a rather slow boxing weekend. The only fighter I was interested in truly this weekend was the return of Serhii Bohuchek. I see Fonzie in here. We got to see Serhii Bohuchek versus Virgil Ortiz, two of the best and most incredible dynamic offensive fighters in the 154-pound division. It was one of the best fights I've ever seen in Las Vegas. That 12th round is on my channel, guys, if you want to check out that 12th round ringside from us. Just an incredible back-and-forth fight. Serhii Bohacek fought this weekend. He's promoted by Loeffler. Tom Loeffler, 360 Productions, I believe. It was on UFC Fight Pass. That shit was incredibly hard to watch. Not to watch, but to find. I wasn't even able to find it. I'm not a UFC Fight Pass member or whatnot. But I did get to catch afterwards, and it was a very close fight. And to be honest, it was very strange, guys, this past weekend, because I thought he got dropped in this fight, Serhii Bohacek, and I thought that at first it looks like he was going to cruise to a beating, but Mikhail Fox, the guy can box. He's upset gold medalist. I talked with Lucas Cattell of Boxing Scene, and he said, don't be surprised about an upset. And ended up being a very entertaining fight, one that Serhii Bohacek had to make a lot of adjustments. But the main point is that he was dropped. I don't got that still picture, guys, but Bohacek was dropped, and they called it a slip. In my opinion, it looked awkward, but he took a punch. And again, this is a lot of shit going on in boxing lately where referees just aren't calling the shit for the main event fighters. Y'all can remember that Gervonta Tank Davis took a knee from a punch. And the referee pretended it wasn't the fucking voluntary knee. He just pretended it wasn't a knockdown. And this has been going on in boxing a lot. And even though I don't think Mikhail Fox was going to come away with the victory, even the scorecards were way too wide for that, he deserved that knockdown, and he deserves a little bit of praise for putting on a good fight. Also this weekend, guys, Fernando Vargas Jr., the son of Fernando Vargas, legendary fighter, future Hall of Famer. I believe he was already inducted to one Hall of Fame. But Fernando El Feroz Vargas' son, Junior, we just saw him at the T-Mobile a few weeks ago, Fonzie. You remember we walked in and he was taking pictures with everybody. He fought in Long Beach, guys, this weekend, and he came away with a knockout that actually, to be honest, I really liked that this Mexican guy was giving him some work. You know what I'm saying? Because the three sons, you've got one of them on Top Rank. Emiliano, everybody thinks he's going to be the future champion, a future star. He has all the makings of a future boxing star. Junior being the last one to, the oldest one at 28 years old in that division, the 154-pound division. He is undefeated and mostly by knockout. But at 28 years old, being promoted by Marv Nation, they're going to have to put him into the mix with the real contenders of the 154-pound division. Xander Zayas at Top Rank signed at just 17 years old. Xander Zayas went to his first pro fight in Reno, California, guys. I was there for his second pro fight at the Cosmopolitan. Interviewed him when he got his first contract. And I got some news on a major new signing by Top Rank. Speaking of Top Rank, they just signed what they think is the brightest future 17-year-old today. Oof. Fonzie's talking baseball. Guys, hey, the San Francisco Giants, shout out to everybody in the Bay. Padres lost 3 in a row. The Dodgers lost 3 in a row. And the Giants had to lose yesterday, or I could have been in first place. The NL West is the hottest division. Now, back to what I was saying about the 154-pound division and Fernando Vargas' son. They're going to have to move him rather quickly at 28 and strategically, because just one loss could derail you. I mean, we saw Tim Tszyu, the champion, take 2 losses in a row, and he did get an impressive knockout win, and now he's going to be fighting Fundora in July. But a knockout or a loss, it can be a major setback for somebody, especially if you've not already been a world champion like Tim Tszyu. In Jesus Ramos Jr. of Arizona, shout out to Veronica, shout out to everybody in Arizona, shout out to the Arizona peoples. Jesus Ramos Jr., he didn't really lose that fight, in my opinion, to Erickson Lubin on the Canelo undercard, now almost a year and a half back. On a Canelo undercard, he does not impress. He does not get rewarded by the judges. That set him back like a mother effer in the rankings of the 154-pound division. In my eyes, Jesus Ramos Jr. is clearly still undefeated, but it doesn't matter. It don't fucking matter because you got to go to the back of the line when you take a loss on your record, especially at the deepest division, 154-pound. Serhii Bohacek, in my eyes, he beat Virgil Ortiz, Fonzie was there. A lot of people were like, nah, he got dropped twice. How did he walk away the winner? Nonetheless, there's people ahead of you. For Fernando Vargas Jr., in my opinion, a lot of things look really good. I mean, a lot of the things I think he inherited from his father. But they're going to have to move him, start thinking about moving him rather quickly because 30 years old is right around the fucking corner. I'm going to be honest with you. And 30 years old for someone who's on the fringes of being labeled a prospect to contender, once you get into that contender status, you got a lot of hardcore hitters at that 154-pound division. You got Erickson Lubin, who just came away from a big win on Pro Box. He's going to get a shot at a title against Bakhtar Murtazaliev, the guy that destroyed Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds. You got Jesus Ramos Jr. still in contention. You know what I'm saying? You got Charles Conwell, who just took his first loss. Tons. You got Brian Mendoza, the guy that knocked out Fundora, but has losses, but is the only guy to have knocked out Sebastian Fundora. You got so many talented people at 154. It's going to be an exciting year for that division. What's good, F Donuts? Appreciate you being in here, man. Appreciate you getting my message the other day about the paperwork, right? And if you're just joining me, let me show you something really quickly. F Donuts, this one's for F Donuts here. Bill Belichik is ruining his fucking life, guys. And it all starts with this, man. You don't need to wear this kind of excessive fucking jewelry to get women. All right, you're 79 years old. You've already been down this path, and you're going to marry a 24-year-old dumb bimbo. You don't need to be dressing like this. This is fucking ridiculous. All right, guys, let's talk about this new signee. 17 years old. Somebody on Twitter said he looks like he's 11 years old. Somebody said he looks like he's 11. I had this problem, guys. Like when I was 17, people thought I was 14. Some people thought I was 30. My wife's seen pictures of me when I was 17. She said, what the fuck? I thought you was in junior high. I was like, no, that's me when I was 17. This kid is a beast. And one thing Top Rank knows how to do is sign future champions. He's already 3-0. He's got 2 KOs from Mexico. 17-year-olds fighting out of Las Vegas, guys. Fighting out of Las Vegas. And they just signed him. And like, again, I've been following and been very friendly with Xander Zayas his entire professional career. Xander Zayas this summer is going to get a chance. They have done everything perfectly for him at Top Rank. He is going to get an opportunity to fight for a world championship this summer. It looks like that guy that just beat Charles Conwell, the Mexican guy, incredible performance beating. Nobody thought he was going to beat Charles Conwell, not including me. And Xander Zayas is going to get to fight him for the vacant WBO title this summer. I hope it's during Puerto Rican Day Parade. Speaking of Top Rank, guys, there is a major verbal war that's been brewing between Bob Arum and Jake Paul. And really it stems from, there's an excellent article. Again, so I pointed back, guys, if you did not watch my interview with BoxingScene.com, Lucas Cattell last week, which was really a fantastic conversation. It really should have more views because it was an uninterrupted, fantastic conversation. Lucas said it sounded like terrestrial radio from back in the days. But listen, BoxingScene.com has reported, and I've got this back and forth stuff going on. Bob Arum has said Jake Paul is not fighting a real fighter, which is an incredible diss to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was at one point the middleweight champion of the world, who is the son of the legendary Julio Cesar Chavez. But he says via Fight Hub TV, Jake Paul is not fighting a real fighter. Mind you, Jake Paul is fighting Chavez Jr., whose last true professional fight, well, he just had one against a former martial artist Uriah Hall last July, but the last real pro fight he's had was in 2021, which is 4 years ago. And I was watching some stuff earlier today on Cesar Chavez's trainer, Huerta, who is a former fighter in strength and conditioning. He says that Chavez Jr. is training unbelievably. Okay? Bob Arum goes on to say, Jake Paul is smarter than you and me combined. He's not interested in fighting somebody that would really give him a whooping. And Jake Paul responded today, this morning, you woman-hating Jerry Actrick, you got dropped by ESPN, you lost Shakur, Teofimo, and Crawford because you're greedy. Your team is getting sued for doing business We're criminals. Keep my name out your dentures and keep pushing Nico Ali Walsh, who is, quote, a real fighter, right? By the way, guys, I'm sure Nico Ali Walsh is just a fine guy. Good to see you, HLD. It's been a long time. He says, let the old man go all out the twilight of his life with that young. When I grow up, I want to be like Belichik. So are you referencing the Belichiks? Or the Belichik conversation earlier. There is a lot of people saying, let the guy enjoy if he wants to mess with a young woman and give up, his fortune or whatever he's going to do, he's obviously should be smart enough to protect his children, because obviously his children have a stake in what will be left. Let the guy enjoy his senior years. Or are you talking about Bob Arum, to stop bad-mouthing Bob Arum? I think it's, it's like going off after your grandpa. It's like going after somebody's grandpa. Like, you just don't go after Bob Arum. I find it incredibly disrespectful. Of course, Bob has some very serious opinions, and for a 94-year-old man, he can still speak very eloquently. He has all his faculties, guys. In my own personal family, I've seen the decline of people in their 90s, and I've seen people who stayed incredibly, ridiculously sharp until their mid-90s. My wife's grandfather, shout out to him. He was incredibly smart right up until the very end. Bill Belichick, I don't know. It's arguable, guys. 79 years old with a woman 50 years younger than you. You better have a prenup. F. Dona says, I'm going for Chavez Jr. Well, of course I am too. All of Mexico is going for Chavez Jr. But the problem with that is, I mentioned it on my podcast that years back when I didn't live in California, I spent a fortune. I literally I must have dropped over $5,000 to come to Las Vegas on a fight weekend where it was Canelo versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And I paid for incredible seats. I wanted to have a great experience. And I really thought, my wife included, we really thought that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was going to do something and beat Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? It ended up being a 12-round body bag. The dude looked like a body bag in there. It was absolutely a horrific performance by Julio Cesar Chavez. Part of it could have been that he was weight trained. He always weight trained himself, guys, but it doesn't fucking matter. When it's come time for Julio Cesar Chavez to perform, he just hasn't done it. He just hasn't. Big Spooky, you already hear me slurring? You feel me? Again, I don't have to go back to work this afternoon. So I'm all good. Don't worry, Big Spooky. All right. By the way, if you guys missed it, the recipe earlier, the spicy mango margarita right there, 2 shots of tequila. It's hitting. It's hitting good. Drinking Casadores already on a Taco Tuesday. Julio Cesar Chavez is repeatedly in his career unimpressed when it came down to it. Now, he was the champion at 160 pounds, the middleweight champion, and he did beat a great, ferocious Andy Lee. Veronica says, needs that snack nutrition. By the way, Veronica, when I lived in the Bay Area, I used to be a field service representative, and I used to drive all over the Bay Area. And one of my clients was right next to Snack Nutrition. And I used to park in the same parking lot and go, come on, just go in there and tell them you got a small podcast. This was years ago. I mean, I had like less than 500 subscribers on YouTube. Just go in there and see if you could talk to Victor Conti. Just go in there and say you got a podcast. I never had the fucking bravery to go in there and say, can I get an exclusive look at Snack Nutrition Training Center? Eventually, I did become friendly with Andy El Tiburon Vences of San Jose, California, who had a Top Rank contract. And he, for his entire career, was a hardcore snack athlete. And he shared with me a great story about when Gennady Golovkin, at the very end of his career, thought maybe it'd be a good idea to fuck with Snack. And one thing that Snack is known for is incredible training regarding track and field. And my boy Andy Vences was incredible on the hurdles. He recently retired, and he is operating a Stone Gym Boxing in San Jose, California. Gennady Golovkin goes down to Snack. He's in his late 30s now. He thinks it'd be a good idea to get on Snack. And according to our conversation and interview we had with Andy Vences, who, like I said, was incredible at track and field and hurdles, Gennady Golovkin took a week or so of track training with Snack Nutrition and said, the fuck with this, man. I'm not doing all this running. I already know how to fight. I don't need to be doing the Snack Nutrition running, you know. And shout out to Mabobo. I see you new in here. Yeah, I should have walked in there and done that. But, you know what I'm saying? That's back in my Bay Area roots. And shout out to Andy Vences, Stone Boxing, San Jose. He's doing his thing, former top-ranked fighter. Anyways, let me share with you guys some news. Today is just a stream of consciousness stream. But in case anybody gives a shit, Tyson Fury unretired. Again. Yep, Tyson, I didn't know he was retired. He's retired so many times, I can't even keep track. But today he announces he's unretired. Like, bro, honestly, like, we didn't even know you was unretired because you retire after every fucking fight. And if we're lucky enough, after you win a major fight, you sing. So he's out of retirement, guys. So the heavyweight division, hey, you know, maybe we're going to get this Anthony Joshua dream fight. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury in the UK. F Donuts, if you're still here. And for anybody regarding these war of words between Bob Arum and Jake Paul, this fight's going to sell well. This fight is in California, guys, and I'm pretty sure this thing is going to be a sellout. I'm almost 100% guaranteed it's going to be a sellout. You've got Zurdo Ramirez, the cruiserweight champion. He's going to be defending his cruiserweight title as the co-main event. One fighter on Golden Boy. This is a Golden Boy with MVP Promotions fight. They're working together, and I think that's great for Oscar De La Hoya, who'll be having a fight right here in Las Vegas the following Friday. Well, good to see that Franzi is still here. Floyd Schofield's dad. Everybody, you know, has got something to say about Floyd Schofield's dad. I thought that they were going to have Floyd Schofield, undefeated Floyd Schofield. You know, he got sick in Saudi Arabia, came down with the mystery flu, could not fight Shakur Stevenson on fight week. Well, it was rumored that he was going to fight MVP's Lucas Bari, who is an incredible guy. He's been a friend of the show for a very long time. Lucas Bari, shout out to Phil LaGreco. That would have been a perfect fight. Like, why hasn't that been fucking signed already? Well, yesterday, Floyd Schofield Sr. said that he was presented a fight offer to fight Abdullah Mason for $1 million. Great offer. I'm sure Floyd's never made that much. But then Oscar De La Hoya, turned around and said, hey, don't go that route. I'm going to give you $5 million for a 5-year contract extension. Do you take the $1 million and fight young Abdullah Mason over at Top Rank? I mean, Abdullah Mason, man, he's been dropped. So has Floyd Schofield. We saw Floyd Schofield get dropped against a Mexican guy from Guanajuato. We saw him get dropped. Both of these young top contenders / prospect contenders have been dropped. They turned down the $1 million offer, and they're going to be taking what sounds like, I think, any day, maybe Fonzie could send a DM to Floyd's mom. A $5 million contract. That's good money. 5 years. Again, we don't know how many fights. Is it 2 fights per year? Is it 3 fights? What does Oscar want? I don't know. $5 million is a lot of money. That's generational wealth. That could set you up. But the real problem is that they're looking at potentially taking Tevin Farmer. And don't be fooled by the 33-8 record, because Tevin Farmer, he, honest to God, he beat Murataya, man. I was at that fight, and I'm like, dude, how did y'all give that to Murataya? He beat Murataya. He then beats William El Camarón Cepeda in the very next fight, and he doesn't get the nod either. This is a very hard fight for Floyd, and it's not a fight I like at all. In fact, to be honest with you, I really think you need to go back to the table quickly, because you got 6 weeks to include yourself on the Paul versus Chavez Jr. card in Los Angeles. You only got 6 weeks, and I know fighters stay fighter like him is staying ready. But you got 6 weeks. I like that fight. I hope to hear something quickly that they are going to pick Lucas Bari, a power puncher. Not the most elite boxer. Not the most elite boxer, but a serious, devastating power puncher. And I like a guy like Floyd who's got power punching and can box, can mix it up against just, a very solid power puncher. Tevin Farmer can do a lot of shit, y'all. Former world champion. He could spoil your parade. I don't like this fight. I hope to see Floyd on this card as soon as possible. All right, Mabobo says, never liked any of the Furies. They robbed Deontay in that one fight. They most definitely did, and that's one of the greatest heavyweight trilogies in recent memories. Fonzie says, who needs $1 million anyways? What's $1 million nowadays? 5 million? Shit, I'll set you up with a good financial advisor in Henderson, Floyd. 5 million you just write out that contract. You be set for life. I know some good people up in Henderson where Devin Haney lives. All right, well, guys, it's been great so far. 12:50. Don't forget that like button. We're gonna have the real show tomorrow night, Wednesday, the Shoe Shine. We're gonna go over more stuff, upcoming fights, weekend review, upcoming summer schedule with Drew, Philly Irish Drew Evo tomorrow night. I've been on an empty stomach. I did enjoy myself a couple of shots of tequila in this margarita, and I must have not had enough calories this morning because I can notice that I'm slurring a little bit at lunchtime on a Taco Tuesday. So I appreciate you guys being here. All right. Coming up. Okay, so we talked about this Top Rank. They got a new signee. Bob and Jake are going at it. As I said, Jake Paul responded to Bob. That is some wild shit that they're going at it. He's got some strong opinions. Bob does not think that Chavez is a legitimate boxer anymore. So it's more of the same shit we've seen from Jake. Calculated decisions. Calculated risk, basically. Chavez did not look good against Uriah Hall. He looked like he could barely beat a former fucking UFC fighter. And Jake Paul, very smartly, you go back to the career trajectory of Chavez Jr., his one great win against Irishman Andy Lee at middleweight. He then finds himself moving up in weight to light heavyweight, where he goes to Chicago and he quits on the stool in his light heavyweight debut. Okay? Only prior to that was the incredible fight he had with Sergio Maravilla Martinez, who was the middleweight champion, where he got clowned. He got beat 11 rounds to nothing, essentially, and then he has a massive punch in the 12th round where it looked like, wow, Sergio Martinez is going down. He showed a lot of heart in that. Subsequently, later on, he ends up quitting on the stool. And then that's the first inkling we have where, wow, Chavez Jr. really ain't a fighter. He really ain't like his dad. Not only did he quit on that stool, then he makes an appearance later on in his career in Arizona, where the fans in Arizona, apparently, he quits again. And they throw their fucking beer bottles in the ring. They throw everything they could into that ring. He's quit on the stool more than once. He's let his fans down more than once. Is this going to be a repeat? It's a calculated risk move by Jake Paul. A very smart one, in my opinion. And one that I saw coming many, many years back. Guys, I've seen this shit coming back more than 3 years ago. I've probably said it more than once that don't be surprised that Chavez Jr. would eventually be an opponent. Don't be surprised. And if you listen to the interview we just had with Boxing Scene's Lucas Cattell on my channel, Lucas Cattell will tell you, he said it on my podcast last week, that he very much thinks Jake Paul is a fight or so away from a world title opportunity. We heard it from Zurdo Ramirez at the first press conference in Los Angeles. He ain't opposed to it. He ain't opposed to fighting Jake Paul. A unified champion at cruiserweight is not... He's not put off by the idea of giving Jake Paul an opportunity. Should Jake Paul beat Chavez Jr.? Very likely. It's very likely he's going to be ranked at the cruiserweight division by at least one of the sanctioning bodies and find himself in contention to either fight old washed up Badu Jack, who's 42 at this point, I believe, or Zurdo Ramirez. The money talks. Money talks, guys. All right, guys, it's been great so far. I appreciate you. Shout out to Wile E. Coyote. Appreciate you on a Tuesday chat, Taco Tuesday edition. This weekend, guys, like I said, there wasn't a lot of boxing. This didn't get my interest. Dave Allen, heavyweight UK fight. Everybody on my social media was talking about this fight in the UK. This was the weigh-in stare down. This definitely is not going to catch my attention. I had to watch the highlights on this one. This being a rematch. And yes, guys, the guy in the European shorts, whatever you call those things, and there seems to be somebody's face on those shorts. He walked away the winner. That's right. A devastating knockout. Dave Allen wins this fight. A heavyweight fight in the UK. Not too bad. Like I said earlier today, also Marv Nation, promoter out of Southern California, had a card on DAZN. One that was interesting to me because Vargas Jr., the son of Fernando Vargas, came away with a pretty impressive knockout. What I liked about this fight, guys, is that the Mexican guy offered a lot of resilience. He was very resilient. He offered resistance. He gave a lot of pushback. He was not afraid. And he got caught slipping. He got caught making a mistake. And when Vargas Jr. realized he hurt him, he capitalized on him and landed a perfectly placed shot, sending the guy into the ropes. And that's all she wrote. Vargas Jr. now has, I believe, 14 knockouts. We need to see him step up in competition. Now, this guy that he beat does have some pretty good names on his resume, but came away losers to them. So this is a step in the right direction. But at 28 years old, I need to see his career be moved more aggressively, even if it means you might face a loss. You guys, some of you hardcore boxing fans, Sugar Shane Mosley's son, middleweight, fixture in the Las Vegas. You know, he started kind of late following his father's footsteps. And he's had some showings where he's like, wow, this is the son of Shane Mosley. You could see it. And then he's had some losses. I hope to see the best outcome for the career of Fernando Vargas Jr. One where they capitalize and his promoters and managers move him correctly, but not let that opportunity squandered, because 28 in boxing when you have not had a world title opportunity yet could be kind of late. So we're going to see where his career goes. Obviously, Emiliano Vargas, tremendous path with Top Rank. Saludos to my boy Nando L. He said, Dave, do they show the entire boxing pay-per-view card at Vegas Sportsbooks? No, Nando, they don't. No, you know, Steve Kim, Mario Lopez, he talked about he was here the night of the Inoue fight, where we went to the Inoue fight that weekend. I think for the Canelo fight, he went over to not Chicas Bonitas, which is a famous strip club here in Las Vegas, but he went over to Ojos Locos. So you have to kind of go onto the outskirts to find somewhere that is showing the fight. I screwed up. They showed it at Circa. They showed the Canelo fight at Circa Sportsbook downtown on Fremont Street. They did. Shout out to Fremont Street Experience for showing that. Shout out to the Circa, because they did, guys. All right, we're almost done with the show today. As I said, Vargas Jr. walks away with that knockout. And Belichik versus Fox, 154-pound division. Belichik gets the win, man. He gets the win. He really only has one loss that occurred on an NBC boxing show way back. NBC was doing their own boxing show against a Southern California fighter out of Compton, I believe. He's got one knockout loss. He moves on. I would personally love to see him against either another Eastern European fighter like Madrimov, or somebody like Bakhtar Murtazaliev, man, that incredible IBF champion. Nando says, I got Cosmo reservations for September. I want to keep them. Absolutely, Nando. Let's get to that really quickly before I do have to get off the air today. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And that's the fact that this week has been a complete shit fucking show, excuse the language, regarding the Canelo Alvarez, Bud Crawford mega fight. Because everybody was led to believe that the fight was going to be Friday And so many people, September 12th, Friday, booked their rooms to come to Las Vegas. People on my timeline even saying they bought tickets already. When the ticket brokers should not be deceiving the public, telling them that they have tickets for sale, ticket brokers. Because you don't. You don't even have an official location. In fact, Allegiant Stadium had not listed it as an official event. So nonetheless, they probably had Friday the 12th at Allegiant Stadium penciled in. And then you get this pushback. You get some, hey, don't make this fight on Friday. Don't make the fight on Saturday. Don't make it this. So many people in Turki Al-Sheikh's ears. And now we are not getting the stadium fight that I've been waiting for as a new Las Vegas local. We ain't getting that fucking Allegiant Stadium fight. A mega fight like this deserved to be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The locals, the Las Vegas economy. We are not going to see a major super fight at Allegiant Stadium on September 12th. Now, unfortunately for Dana White, prematurely, I said, wow, Dana White, you can mark my words. I was misspoke. I was wrong. Dana White's plug has been completely pulled. In fact, now it's on Saturday. The fight is now supposedly, the latest thing Turki Al-Sheikh Ring Magazine is reporting is it's going to be Saturday, which is traditional to Mexican Independence Day weekend. I like it. Should have always been Saturday. The problem is Allegiant Stadium is booked by the Rebels. The UNLV football team has already got that date penciled in against Idaho, a major football powerhouse. You know, y'all know the Mountain Conference or whatever. That shit's been booked. So Allegiant Stadium is out of the question. Now, what's important to note about this is that Turki Al-Sheikh is not like PBC. He's not like Top Rank that have budgets, that have shareholders, private or not, that are going to demand a return on investment because he has the Saudi government backing him with unlimited funds. Now, that doesn't mean that you have carte blanche check to write off a complete fucking loss. Because if you think about it and you really look at the venues in Las Vegas available on Saturday, you're left with T-Mobile Arena, maximum capacity, 18,000. The Sphere, which they tried for UFC Noche last September, also a maximum capacity of no more than 15 to 20,000. And because the fight, putting on a production, costs so much money, y'all know Canelo's making more than $100 million, or at least $100 million to fight Terrence Crawford. I don't know what Terrence Crawford's purse is, what he's personally going to get. Then you got all the undercard. I'm telling you right now that there's no fucking way that this fight, the gate, is even going to dent the money required to pay Canelo, let alone Terrence Bud Crawford. Fonzie says they might as well move the fight to the Mojave Desert. They got to move it somewhere. Now, here's the deal. The most expensive fight I've ever been to in my life was Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin, where nosebleed started at $600, $1,200 plus fees to be in the building for Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin. This is definitely a super fight of that magnitude. They broke in even. They did extremely well on the pay-per-views. There's no way you're breaking in even having this fight at T-Mobile Arena. Now, because it's a Saudi-sponsored event and Sella, now he says Sella, that's a Saudi Arabian promotional outfit, who does not have a promoter's license to operate and show fights in the U.S. That means they're going to have to work with Top Rank, Tom Loeffler, 360 Promotions, TGB Promotions, which is representative of PBC, Golden Boy. You know fucking Golden Boy ain't going to get the nod on this one. But Sella doesn't have a right to operate in the U.S., meaning they're going to have to use somebody else's license. They are not going to make their money back to pay the fighters not even the fucking main event is going to be made back if they host the fight at T-Mobile. Which means if they do host it at T-Mobile, it's a loss. Do they care? Probably not. They don't give a shit. They're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Veronica says, oh my God, I only spent less than $1,000 to see Ramstein 2 nights, and that includes travel to California and hotel and Uber. Well, that's a lot of money for a vacation. But the idea, like I'm telling you right now, Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez sold out in like a minute. I remember that. I remember being on that and saying, what the is going on this website? That shit sold out like in a minute. I was unbelievable. I'm like, oh, it's the bots and the ticket brokers. If they even start these tickets at T-Mobile at $600 per person, it is going to be a sellout, and it is not going to dent the amount of money to put on this production, which leads me to the very sad reality that I'm probably not going to get together with friends in Las Vegas, and I have to be ready for that possibility. I got Nando in the chat. I know my boy Fonzie's always down from the 619 to roll up. Good friends of the Shoe Shine. We may, and I have to be prepared, not get this fight in Las Vegas, which is why I'm telling you right now that California, Southern California, there are many venues available. One that's even talked about is the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. That's hosted, I believe they hosted the Olympics. They're talking about that. They're also talking about a venue that Canelo Alvarez sold a record-breaking 67,000 seats, and that's Dallas, Texas' stadium. And it's very likely possible that on Mexican Independence Day that the Texas fans are going to show up. And I've been to a Terrence Bud Crawford fight. We saw one here at Mandalay Bay against Sean Porter. Sold out. Tons of Nebraska fans, tons of Terrence Bud Crawford fans made the journey to Vegas to support Terrence Bud Crawford where he beat Sean Porter. I'll tell you right now, Terrence Bud Crawford will have Oklahoma fans, Nebraska. Wait a minute. Nebraska's its own state. Excuse me. Oh, lost my geography. Nebraska fans will make the journey to Dallas to support Terrence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez can 100% sell Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Right now, if I had to put money on it, I'm thinking this fight is going to be announced on Saturday, September the 13th, because it's available at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. That is my guess right now. Salute to Bruce Gass, Boxing, Jazz, and more. I appreciate you, man. We're just thinking off the top of our head right now, where is this fight going to end up? And it's crazy because just as of 2 weeks ago, it was almost certain that I thought that this fight would end up for free on Netflix. Y'all can kiss that goodbye. This fight ain't going to be free. It's now going to be a pay-per-view. And Dana White ain't going to have shit to do with it, which was almost, he must have been out of his mind happy that he was going to get this fight. We don't know where it's going to be. For now, Nando, if you're still listening, hold on to that reservation because we may be surprised. It may turn around and happen at T-Mobile. And we might have to pay an inflationary price, just like the tariffs, a boxing tariff. We may have to pay more than we're used to going to a super fight to be lucky enough to see this spectacle in person. But there's nothing like seeing a fight in Las Vegas. What's good? What's good, homie? Appreciate you. 02002. And that's what it is. As a Las Vegas local, if we get an opportunity to see this fight, we may have to pony up a little bit more money. But there's nothing like a big fight weekend in Las Vegas. That is absolutely where the fight should be. Move it to the Mojave Desert, says Fonzie. Move it. It's funny you say that. Something really bad happened in Las Vegas, guys, this weekend. Somebody shot up a gym, and I can't believe this picture, guys. Shout out to the Las Vegas Police Department. This guy walked into LVAC, Las Vegas Athletic Something Center. It's a gym franchise in Las Vegas. He's wearing slacks and dress shoes, and I still don't know the details. I know it turns out, I think he is Latino. He was identified as a white male. he really went in there to murder a whole bunch of people, man. And it's very sad. He did kill a Latino person that had been working at that gym for many years. I don't know if this was personal, but he went in there with the AR-15 to murder tons of people in North Vegas. This happened this past weekend, and the men in blue were there waiting for him. It's very sad. Rest in peace to the people affected by this tragedy. But they got him. They got him. Some dumbass people, I'll tell you that much. Some dumb people. Anyways, a bit of more news really quickly, guys, this weekend, and I'm going to go more in depth to it tomorrow with Drew Evo, providing Philly Irish Drew Evo is my co-host tomorrow night, guys. About this fight, I'm so excited about this weekend, guys. Angelo Leo, featherweight champion of the world, beat El Venado Lopez. El Venado Lopez had been undefeated, unstoppable El Venado Lopez. And Angelo Leo, who I think had been dropped by PBC, former champion at bantamweight 122, moves up to 126, coming off of a performance on Pro Box that got him an El Venado Lopez fight at Top Rank. Knocks him out so bad that unfortunately El Venado Lopez just fought again. He had a brain bleed. That was confirmed. El Venado Lopez had suffered a brain bleed in that vicious knockout loss to Angelo Leo. We got a chance to meet Angelo Leo at the Inoue fight. Angelo Leo is the only fight worth talking about this weekend. He is promoted partly with Pro Box. It is going to be a mega fight in Japan, in my opinion. Because it's in Japan, nobody is talking about this featherweight showdown. He's fighting Tomiko Kameda. Tomiko Kameda is a freaking interesting former champion out of Japan. Started his career as low as 118 pounds. Now I think he's about 30. Tomiko Kameda, why is he? He's a family of boxers, brothers, and whatnot, the Kameda family. His family sent him to Guadalajara as a teenager. Japanese. Sent to Guadalajara as a teenager to learn how to fight Mexican style. You got a Las Vegas local champion in Angelo Leo, who people underestimated him his entire career. Now a 2-division champion. Saturday. All right. On Pro Box. On YouTube. Looks like it's going to be in the middle of the freaking night, guys. In the middle of the freaking night. I don't know, maybe 4 a.m. because of the time change. Angelo Leo versus Tomaki Kameda, who Tomaki Kameda, when you look at his blonde hair, he's got the swag of the Inoues, he's got the swag of all these Japanese fighters. The dude speaks perfect Spanish. I mean, he's like a Japanese guy who thinks he's Mexican, but he went back to Japan. This is going to be a freaking interesting fight, guys. And Tomiko Kameda, sometimes in his hardest moments, he's failed. He is a former champion. I could be incorrect. I thought he won a title at 118. A big, loyal fan base in Japan. Speaks perfect Spanish. This could have been a mega fight promoted correctly, but Angelo Leo, credit to him for flying to Japan. Who he was walking around the T-Mobile just 2 weeks ago meeting with his fans. He's going over to Japan and risking it all. This is the new trend, guys. American fighters that don't have a huge following. Brian Norman Jr., welterweight champion, Top Rank, going to Japan to fight Sasaki in just a month or so to defend his welterweight title. Angelo Leo saying, money, the bag is good. I'm going to Japan. I don't give a shit who watches it. I'll give one of their toughest contenders an opportunity to get this title. Tomiko Kameda, the Mexican Japonés, the Japonés Mexicano from Guadalajara. This fight is going to be fire, and you're going to be able to watch it on Pro Box if you're awake at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Come Saturday, May 24th, you're going to see something. And if you can't wake up, if you don't give a shit about boxing, if you're just a casual fan, or maybe you drank too much tequila like me the night before, then wake up and set your timer and don't set a reminder to go back and watch this replay, because Angelo Leo, at one point, living out of his car to pursue his dreams as a professional fighter, now a 2-division world champion. Shout out to Angelo Leo, guys. Shout out to him for being a brave mother effer. And all the fighters going to Japan. Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Saludos to everybody. I appreciate you guys, whatever you're doing tonight. I appreciate you day drinking with me on a Tuesday. We're going to be back tomorrow night with my co-host, Philly Irish Drew Evo, for a special episode of The Shoe Shine on Wednesday night. Everybody in the chat, Elvin, Fonzie02, Bruce Gas, Veronica, I appreciate you guys. Nando, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, everybody. Until next time.